2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey, I'm Georgia Lyons and welcome to Intros. Today on the show, I have the most incredible young artist, Nikau Grace. Nikau, welcome to Intros.
Thank you for having me.
It's so good to have you here.
Oh, no,
Finally.
No, I'm super excited. Genuinely, thank you.
I got to work with your uncle on my debut album and he couldn't stop talking about his niece. And I was like, who is this wonderful person that you keep speaking of? And all of a sudden, I just see you popping up everywhere and this voice. I want to hear, when was the very first time you started singing? How did you know music was something that you wanted to pursue?
I feel like it's cliche to say, but Mum said I was singing forever before I could walk or talk, which for me, I think for as long as I can remember, I knew this was what I wanted to do. I've had lots of different things where I was like, oh my gosh, I love doing that, like random things like horse riding, and I wanted to be a vet for so long, and I'm quite sporty, but music and singing and songwriting has always been the one thing that I've like never wavered on.
Tell me a little bit about your songwriting journey and how that's kind of shifted and changed over the last few years.
For me, I feel like phases. I'm really bad. I need to get into like a good, consistent habit of like writing. But for me, I've got like this mental block and it has to come to me, which like I wish it didn't. Quite often I'll wake up at like the middle of the night and I'll just like grab a book and thing or like a voice recording.
That's great.
It's a bit annoying, you know, stuff's up my
Everybody has their own way of being creative and their own like, you know, way of writing songs.
Very
I love
true.
that you wake up and you have these ideas, which I'm sure is very annoying when you're trying to sleep and you're like, I have to get this out of my brain.
Yeah.
So you've been a part of the wider Anthems movement here in Aotearoa. Tell me what that experience was like for you and how did you get involved?
One, amazing. Just the whole wairua around the kaupapa, you know, like the people involved, what it is pushing, what like why it was created is just incredible. And I think it's something that, you know, has really had an impact on, you know, the Māori music scene. It was like a lot of firsts with them, like first photo shoot, my first billboard, like all these big things for me. I felt so honoured that they then asked me to be a part of the Taumata program, which was the kind of year-long emerging artist program that they did last year. And it was incredible because for me, again, I'm 17 coming into this environment and I'm very much like, I'm fair-skinned Māori, but being recognised like as a Māori artist gave me this newfound sense of confidence in who I was. And for my song, that's the whole, you know, that's what it is, like tōku tuakiri, my identity. I don't know, I feel so lucky and so grateful and so honoured to be a part of their kaupapa. It's so cool because the kind of people that they are, you know, Whaihins, like, oh my gosh, the Dame, she is just a force and she is just an amazing person. But she's got like, maybe it's a Māori thing or just that sense where once you're a part of her whānau, she's got you, you know? And so I did that whole program last year and I was the Pōtiki by like 10 years or something. Like that was the closest person in age to me. And I went in terrified because they all spoke Māori and I don't. And then it was just like this whole shock when I realised that actually they're treating me like an artist, not a kid. And even though I can't converse with them in our language, they are keeping me involved and keeping me a part of it. And so I'm really excited because they've kept me going this year. And I've been asked to do a song for Anzac because now that little bomb is gone, there's no living members of the Māori battalion. So we haven't written it yet, but we're releasing a song in honour of the Māori battalion for Anzac.
What would you say to someone your age or a few years younger who's wanting to enter into this wild industry that we're a part of? What would be your advice that you might pass on to them?
One of the things I'm very set on,
Yes.
is that if you truly want to do something, you can. Talent can take you so far, but once, you have that drive and you put in the hard work, sky's the limit. And growing up in, a town like Kawerau, where you're not necessarily told to think small, but most people don't see all that there is around them. It's had a serious impact on how I view things. Because again, I have had people constantly tell me that I can do it and I will. But lots of those kids don't. So one of the things that I love, a part of my mum being a principal there, is I go and help on teacher-only days. And these kids just, not to sound full of it, but they look up to me, which feels really weird and like a lot of pressure. But it's something so beautiful too, because I see these kids with all these dreams and all these aspirations, and I'm just like, you can do it. Your biggest enemy and your biggest obstacle is yourself and is your mind, and are the limits you set for yourself. And no matter what is different about you or weird about you, it doesn't matter. And being normal is so overrated.
Yes.
Who wants to be normal?
You're amazing.
Oh,
And you're 17. I am so excited to have you here today, obviously to chat to you, but also to have you perform. Can you tell us the name of the song that you're performing and what the song's about?
so the song that I am performing is called Rapua Te Mea Ngaro. And basically it's just about this internal flame and how people, for unknown reasons, try to extinguish it or snuff it out or just dim it, And ultimately it's your job to protect it and to keep it burning, to just let it grow. It kind of came from almost a bit off Tōku Tuakiri, because I got a lot of backlash when that song came out, because a lot of people thought that I wasn't claiming my Pākehā side as well as my Māori side. And, it's completely fine. Everyone has their own opinion and their own interpretation of, songs. And so it came from me telling myself, no, I'm not going to let this get to me. I'm not going to let you extinguish my flame, and I'm going to keep it growing. In the process of writing it, it almost became, connected to Kawerau and the kids in Kawerau. And I would love to think that not only is it something that I need to learn and understand myself, that actually it's okay. And I would love to think that those kids who listen to it and sing it think the same and that they believe it too.
I'd love to just jump back a little bit to you talking about experiencing some backlash when you released was that your first single that you released?
Yeah. Yes, I was 14.
Okay. How did you navigate that as a 14-year-old?
So, bit of history. When Tōku Tuakiri first came out, I was super excited, really nervous. My first song, proper single, was released. So far, everything had been really positive. Everything was really good. I was really excited. And then one night, I saw my mum's hiding something, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And they were like, "Oh no, nothing." Blah blah blah. And I found out because as kids do, you dig. And the Herald had done a article on me, which I didn't know about because I wasn't interviewed or anything. And it was just maybe the way that they worded some things that ended up somehow becoming this group was formed that were really anti-Nikau. The comments varied. I had some that were, oh, no one wants to hear what you have to say kind of stuff. But then there was also ones oh, she's more useless than a pincushion.
Nikau.
Yeah.
Not that you have to go into those specific
No,
comments, but
no, actually, it's almost empowering to me, because the more I think about it, the more I'm why did I care so much what you said? I had people saying, this girl's not even Māori, look at her, let's get a DNA test to prove it. But then, I fixated so much on all those kind of comments, but I didn't read the multiple more of people saying, actually, you know what, stuff you guys, no, she's not. And all the ones where people are like, I relate to this so much, thank you. I mean, there's positives in everything, eh? Like,
For sure.
I don't think I would have had that song if I hadn't have read those comments.
You're very brave.
Thank you.
And I'm so glad that you have continued to put one foot in front of the other and continue to write and continue to put yourself out there, because I know so many people would have been pretty crushed by any kind of negativity, let alone the weight that I'm sure some of those comments have
Yeah.
played.
I mean, at the end of the day, the industry that this is, there's going to be those things, eh?
For sure.
My mum taught me this thing. She said, anytime someone puts you down, thank them. Thank you. You are preparing me for what I'm going to have to deal with tenfold.
Thank you, Mum.
Yeah. Genius.
One thing that we do here on Intros is we get our artists to give shout-outs. Do you have an artist that you love that you'd love to shout out on Intros?
Do, yes. I would love to give Elena a shout out. She has kind of been a part of my journey for a long time, and she's just so incredibly beautiful and just so gentle, and
Yes.
and through her music, it's just something that I wish I had half of what she has, because the way she tells her story and, you know, communicates to her audience is just something magical.
And I think you are exactly the same, and I
Oh,
love that. I love that about you. Nikau, it has been an absolute treat to have you here on Intros. Thank you for just being willing to share your story and willing to bring everything that you are and your wonderful 17-year-old self to Intros.
Thank you.
I cannot wait to see what your future holds and all of its wonderfulness.
Thank you for having me.
Yay!
Oh, that was great. That was so good. Oh.
Ko koera te kurahuna e muramura mai ana e pukauri mai ana kei kewa wa toa tarangi ka mahue mai ki imuri kia whitikina koe e te ra tia kina tohine ngaro rapo te mea ngaro. Keep that flame alight. Keep that flame alight. Oh, takina tohine ngaro, rapote me ngaro. Keep that flame alight. Ooh. O moi moia pupuritia o wawata kia whaia ana te aro tātai. Bye, hold your head up, ooh, hold it high. Reach out for the dreams you left behind, and the ones still inside. Rapote meu ngaro, keep that flame alight. Keep that flame alight. Oh, tiakina tohine ngaro, rapote meu ngaro. Keep that flame alight, ooh. Kei roto ia koe, te pito mata. Kei roto ia koe, te pito mata. Ko koera te kurahuna e muramura mai ana e pukauri mai ana kei kewa. Wā, te kina tohine ngaro